I'll be speaking on building a transgenerational business that lasts. Building a transgenerational business that lasts. I don't know if Mr. Chris is here. Who is Mr. Chris? Now, he is the husband to a friend of mine whom we lost last year, October 17 precisely. She is one of the proteges that God has used me to bring into the real estate limelight, and she has built businesses. She has built estates in hundreds of millions on the island here. I was with her about October 13th, 2024. I was training some of the realtors that we were building together, and I received a message to be in London, and I had just 48 hours to be in London. So I told her I was going to travel. And so before then, we've been talking about one of our properties here on the island in Lekki here that, she said she would like to partner with us, with our company, to do a joint venture partnership on the property while we donate the land as our own equity, and she brings funds to be able to build on it, and we share the units on it. Now we had concluded our discussions, and it was time for us to sign the agreements. So we're to sign the agreements, and she was unable to. I told her, because of my urgent trip, let me come back before Wednesday, because the trip was for me to just go sign some papers and come back to Nigeria. But I was there just 2 days. I got there on Sunday. On Tuesday, the other sister called me and said, your friend is no longer alive. It was I cried like a baby. She was someone that stuck closer to me than a sister that God gave me. We had our first degree together, and we read together from school days. And now, let me tell you the part that shocked me the most was the fact that she wasn't sick. She just slept and didn't wake up. Now, I saw the power of building a business when you are no longer around. Oftentimes, many of us think that it is when you get to a certain age that you need to begin to tidy up and hand over to a successor. Please, what I'll be talking on today is building a business that outlives you. I think I saw Mrs. Olori Sanusi from US. I think I saw her in the crowd. Can I see your hand, please? You are there, Mrs. Olori Sanusi from the US. All right. Now, my friend, as pastor, what about the business? As I speak to you right now, somebody has taken over the business because of the legacy she has built. The groundbreaking was done on the property with our company and our company, and the joint venture partnership has begun. Everything about the business was well documented. With or without her, the business has continued. The question is this: if you stop breathing today, what will happen to your business? Oh yes, you pray against it, I rebuke it. I'm a pastor, by the way. But I must let you know that most of the times we rebuke the things that we can actually prevent or avoid. Let me tell you something. Abdul built a legacy because she scaled and didn't just look at profiting. So what I want to say today is not to just look at profits, but begin to think of scaling. There is a difference between being profitable and scaling. So the difference is this: the profit you hit for the now, the scaling is after you are gone. Access Bank lost a founder, but guess what? In less than 2 weeks, a new CEO was appointed. Now we have examples of Toyota, Guinness. Even in Nigeria, we have Tara Fela-Durotoye. She handed over to his new CEO last year, just from a makeup business that anybody would just pick a bag and just go and make up for someone. She has built an institution. She has been able to put structures in place to be able to ensure that even without her, the business can run. Look at Apple, for example. Apple founder Steve Jobs died in the year 2011. And despite Jobs' death, Apple continued to grow exponentially under Tim Cook's leadership. My brother here from Ghana is a beneficiary of Steve Jobs from his legacies because of your Apple stock. Now, the brand, the systems, and the global presence were so solid that it became the first US company to hit a 3 trillion market cap. This aligns with the idea of building brand equity, institutional leadership, and systems that outlive the founder. Also, many of you who have been to the US will, even in the UK and also in Nigeria, you have McDonald's. The founder, Ray Kroc, died in the year 1984. Now, McDonald's success today is tied to his franchising model, documented systems, and powerful brand, not just the original founder. They built a business around systems, intellectual properties, and asset protection, not just burgers. Also, we have the Ford company. Ford, the founder, Henry Ford, died in 1947. And the company has lasted more than a century and remained one of the biggest automotive brands globally. It thrives due to a generational leadership, a strong board, and continuous innovation. What do you think about corporate governance? Who are the members of your board to check your excesses? The fact is this: nobody wants to take your business away from you, but there's a need for people to check whether you're on the right track. By the grace of God, I sit over the board of different organizations that I never knew how it was founded. But before I say yes to any of those companies, I want to look at your books. Are you on the right track? Hope you won't destroy the legacy I've been building for years. So what's my duty? To check whether you are doing it right. Amongst all of the board members is to check excesses. And that's what Pan African Youth Foundation is doing it right. Let me, veer a little. Some people will be given an award today because of all the great things that they are doing. Never look down on that award. Now, I was nominated for an award by a good friend of mine that I was just doing some little things to support one way or the other. And I was shocked. Honorary citizenship of the United States of America while I was in Nigeria. One of the things that made it happen was some of the awards that God has used this foundation to give to me. While I was doing the little I was doing to touch lives. For example, I'm here today under the weather, but yet I still came out. Why? Not because of anything I'm getting, but because of the lives that must be touched. So never think of profiting, think of scaling. Never think of profiting, think of scaling. Never think of profiting only. Yes, you must be profitable, but think of what happens when you are no longer around. Now, I was nominated for an award last year also, and in the United Kingdom, specifically at the British Parliament. And while they were in the room, I was told that they were looking at how many lives have this man touched and how do we check it. I was told they went to my Instagram handle. By the way, my Instagram handle is Dr. Adeyemi Adeniyi, Dr. Adeyemi Adeniyi, all spelled together. You'll find me on all social media platforms. Now, there are many people seated here today that will say, I don't want any member of my family, my village people to see me. And so you cover some things. You don't want to post anything about yourself. But I can tell you, you are the light. Why should you be afraid of darkness? You can't die 2 times, just one. And the thing is this. And one thing you must know is this. It is not exactly the time that somebody is speaking on your behalf in a room that you can post. It is what you have posted before that they will see. Now, are you aware now that if you apply for the US visa, they go to your Instagram handle to check about you? And if they find nothing, they give you nothing. What exactly are you going to do in the United States? If you are not having anything, we don't need you there. Now, in that award nomination in the United Kingdom, at the British Parliament, not just the UK, at the British Parliament, my friend and sister, Mrs. Victory, or Dr. Victory, who stood up here, one of the speakers here, that was where I met her for the first time, and she was also nominated. Now, you know what? They said they saw when Pan African Youth Foundation gave me an award in Gambia, and it was presented by the Lord Mayor of Banjul. That is like the governor of the main states. And they said, if a mayor can hand over an award to this man, there's something about him. Let's not refuse him. Let's give him the award. And they called me and they said, congratulations, you have been awarded this and that. And for the first time, I entered into the British Parliament. Now, what a great honor. Now, please be mindful of what you post on your handle. I just have to let you know, as business owners, as founders, everybody cannot be quiet or passive. The good works that you are doing, that God is doing through you, let the whole world see it. You are not there just to bluff. You are not there just to make show. You are there to impact lives. What are you doing about all those awards that you received? What are you doing about all those good works that you are doing, those lives you are touching? You need to be deliberate about it. Go to my handle. I have a paying staff who goes about with me, travels with me, just to capture the moments. You need to be deliberate about it. I'm not flaunting anything, but I want you to know that just as those who are duping people are flooding everywhere online, you who are doing good and the right thing, why are you keeping quiet? Please take note of it, because many of you will be awarded here today, and this will not be the last that you'll be getting. But if you don't post it, that tells me that you will not be considered for a greater award. So in the US, in the UK, and in all parts of the world, somebody is saying something and they are saying, this guy is touching lives, let's consider him for something. This guy is touching life. So I don't receive small awards again by the grace of God. They consider me for bigger ones. Why? Because I celebrated a small one, and by the grace of God today, they give me the big ones. So please don't be afraid of anybody. Post good contents and God will help you. As a roundup, now I'd like you to know there are many organizations also in Nigeria that have helped beyond even talking about profiting only. As a roundup on the foreign companies, you remember Disney, the Walt Disney. He died in 1966, and today many people are going to the United States to visit Disneyland. Not just even United States, even in Paris, you even find Disneyland there. Samsung, the founder Lee Byung-chul, he died in 1987 and grew from a trading company into one of the world's largest tech giants. What about Gucci? Gucci died in 1953. Though the family later lost control of the company, the brand evolved into a global fashion powerhouse. Now, I want you to know that strong brand equity and licensing model allowed business to scale well beyond the founder's era. Now, I'd like you to know that to a very large extent, there are things I want you to remember. Now, the question is, where is Abiola Bookshop? For many of you who are old enough to remember Abiola Bookshop. What about Tani Guradna? Tani Guradna, many people may be able to, we have a lot of Gen Zs in the house, but those who are old enough to know Tani Guradna, Orkin Biscuits, Gold Spots, Limca, and quite a number of brands, they are no longer alive today. Why? Because they never thought of things that will outlive them. Now, in Nigeria, we have the Punch newspaper. The founder is Chief Oluwabodere. He died in 1984, and the legacy remains Nigeria's most widely read newspaper decades later. Now, FCMB, First Monument Bank, the founder of Tomash Bomi Balogun, he died in 2023, and the legacy continues. Dantata Group, precursor to Dangote. Now, Al-Hassan Dantata, he died in 1955, and his legacy in commercial, empire that he has laid the foundation for became the Dangote Group. Now, Leventis Group, in Nigeria. The founder was Chief Anastasius Leventis. He died in 1978. And today, we still have that legacy. What about the Odutola Group? Now, Adeola Odutola, he died in 1995. And the legacy, the industrial pioneer in tires and manufacturing, set the stage for Nigerian-owned production companies. Now, please, I would like you to know also that it's very important for you to know that beyond all of this, you need to know that you need a good vision. You need a good vision. Now, why do most businesses die? I may ask, if I may ask. Now, one, personality driven versus system driven. Please separate the founder of a business from the business. Separate the founder of a business from the business. So, the founder is a business. Decisions, networks, and culture are all tied to him. Please learn to separate them. 2, short-term thinking can kill a business. Think about the future, 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, 50 years, and begin to make plans for those years. By the grace of God, there are some properties that our company is acquiring that we don't need them in the next 5 years, but they are properties for legacies. Even though they are strategically located, but we just fence them and leave them. So that is an asset that is being kept for those who are going to take over from us. Now, also, when a business is going to die, check if there's no succession plan. It can die. Meaning there's nobody you are training or that you can trust enough to carry the torch when you are no longer around. Please, let me let you know, everybody cannot be a thief. That's the truth. And the fact that you trust nobody is a red signal that even you should not be trusted. Remember, somebody also trusted you. Oh, when you train them, one of my friends is my dentist in the Ikeja there, doing very well. He's been around for years, more than 30 years in the dentistry trade. You know something? He trained somebody to take over from him, looking at succession planning. But unfortunately, the man relocated from Nigeria without telling the man. In fact, you know, most people want to Japan, they are in the same WhatsApp group. And I think in that WhatsApp group, they always tell themselves, don't tell anybody. Uche, the way you are laughing, I'm suspecting you. And to a very large extent, he just told the boss, who have entrusted everything into your hands. And the man's family, the wife and the children, they relocated. And so the plan was, he's going to stay in Nigeria and go to check the family intermittently. And so he didn't know that the next in command that was training to succeed him was also planning. But the main Oga was carrying the next in command along about his plan. But, you know, because he wanted to Japa, and one of the rules in the WhatsApp group is do not tell anybody. And so he had plans. So 1 week to his movement, he just said, sir, when you start hearing, well, you know there's a problem. I tell anybody we work together, when you want to talk to me, when your well is too much, I know it is not well. And before you know it, this man was shocked. The founder of the business, my friend, he said he's over 50 and he had a heart attack. Thank God that when he had the heart attack, he just brought his driver in to live in his boys' quarter. And so it was the driver that carried him like a baby and took him to Duchess International in Ikeja GRA, where they had an open heart surgery for him to revive him. And so, don't think about those negative experiences that so many people have told you, and because of that, you are keeping everything away from people. One of the businesses that died in Nigeria, the founder of the business was so much all over, the business was all around him, such that when he was going for his surgery, the key to his car, he didn't leave it with the driver who drove him there. He collected the key to enter the surgery room and he never came out. To tell you, okay, if somebody can go into the theater with the car key and left the driver outside, do you think the business is open to anybody? No. There's nothing anybody could access about the business. And that was what gave brought the business to a close. Please, I don't want to talk too much more than this, but one thing I believe you've gotten from my keynote speech today is that you must build businesses that will outlive you. Today, Deal Clinchers Homes Limited, we started with Deal Clinchers Realtors. Today, it has moved to Deal Clinchers Homes. We have Deal Clinchers Facility Management. We have Deal Clinchers, a management company. We have different, subsidiaries of Deal Clinchers. We have Divest Investment Cooperative Limited. And today, it's a group of companies. And now we have people who are overseeing everything. We have somebody that you need to talk to if you want to do anything. And there are people who are custodian of the culture of the organization. So, what are you building? Are you just building for yourself, or you are building a business that someone is going to take over from you? It's a food for thought. As I go, I'd like to leave you with a few words that all of the things that you are doing today, if the end comes for you today, who are you handed over to? I'd like you to know that it's important for you to have the CEO's mindset shifts. And if you want your business to live beyond you, you must stop playing boss and start playing builder and founder. Your company's value is not in what it earns today, but in whatever it will earn anything after you are gone. Start building a legacy company, not a lifestyle company. Create an institution, not just an enterprise. As I go, I'd like you to know that as they made fun of me yesterday, that one particular slogan or one of my quotes, that if I don't quote it, I don't leave the stage, and I'll quote it again, that your background is not the reason why your back is on the ground. Regardless of wherever you come from, as a one-time Bariga boy, as a one-time organizer in the streets of Lagos, as a one-time bus conductor on the streets of Lagos, now building estates in billions of dollars by the grace of God across the nations of the earth. Regardless of wherever you come from, think of building a business that will outlive you. That when you are no longer around, somebody can say, "Thank God for you." Thank you, and God bless you.